A young lady, an influencer by the name of Janae, was found allegedly. She deleted herself in Tanzania, where she allegedly hung herself. She was in Tanzania on a trip with her boyfriend, I guess fiance, and she was an influencer. She would often talk about the soft life and how beautiful it is being with a white man. And she did do a lot of dissing of brothers, and that's not to justify this loss that we've had. Very beautiful young lady, and it's very tragic. It's really sad. And allegedly, her boyfriend or fiance, he came back in the room and said he just found her up there hanging, right? Because typically when killers kill, they do it and they just blank out and they compartmentalize. We pretty much know he did it. There's just no way. So I'm going to listen to this story that I have pulled up. Y'all check this out and let's get into it today. Hope y'all can hear me, but let's take a look at this. Let's see.
Did you hear about Ashley, the influencer from Miami, whose fiance says she hung herself on her birthday? And everybody says he's lying and he needs to be investigated. Trigger warning. According to rumors and gossip, which may or may not be true, Ashley Janae, an IG model and soft life influencer, flew to Tanzania to celebrate her 31st birthday with her boyfriend, Joe McCann. And shortly after, she disappeared completely. According to Ashley's latest Instagram post, she was having a fabulous time in Tanzania with her boyfriend.
That's a $50,000 to $60,000 trip we're looking at right now.
Taking glamorous pictures, spending time with animals, and even being proposed to during the trip. A week later, everybody's wondering what happened after a woman named Savannah Britt came to Twitter to share this shocking message. She wrote, "We need justice for my friend Ashley Janae, who was found dead in her hotel in Tanzania, and her fiance, Joe McCann, claims she hung herself. And anyone who knows Ash knows she would never commit suicide. We need answers now." Ashley, who...
So Joe McCann said, I don't know what happened. I just came back here. She was hanging up. She hung herself. This is what they always do. And I guess there's going to be a documentary on this. I'm sure 50 Cent or somebody will grab this.
Reportedly represented the soft life, shared some questionable posts about black men and men in general. But in her latest post, she seemed to have finally met a man who could give her the experiences that she wanted. Sadly, those experiences include...
This is very tragic. Everyday black men wake up and find more ways to embarrass us. Now, I didn't just read that tweet. It's not to justify her demise. However, this is what she wrote. And sometimes be careful what you tweet, what you write, because it could come back to haunt you, even after life.
Included a one-way trip to Tanzania. Although there have been no official reports about her death, Ashley has not posted to her social media since her birthday, and everyone believes the rumors that she is dead, but no one believes that she would end her life that way, not on her birthday. What's crazy?
We know she didn't end her life that way. He ended her life. He took out there and she didn't do it.
Is after some digging, netizens found old comments where a fan warned her that her boyfriend was going to kill her. And when you look at Joe's social media, he has never mentioned Ashley at all. In fact, he's continued to post after she was reported dead. Nothing ever happened. Again, none of this story has been verified, but it's all everyone is talking about. What do you think of this story? Do you find it possible that a woman who had everything going for her would take her own life while she's on vacation and she just got proposed to? Leave a comment to let me know.
No, she wouldn't take her own life. He did that. People are sick, man. People are absolutely sick. And I get it. There's a lot of tweets that this young lady did where she was bashing and shaming black men, and she shouldn't lose her life because she was shaming black men, right? but it is rather unfortunate. And of course, people are going to bring up that past. Of course, people are going to share those tweets. It's nasty, but it's also human nature, right? So it's very unfortunate. We need to look up this guy, Joe McCann. So who is Joe McCann? Where's this guy from? He obviously had no pictures of her on his page. What is the research we can find on Joe McCann? Well, I need to know about Joe McCann. Tanzania. Let's see what we got on Joe. Come on. Let me see what we got. So who is Joe McCann? Let me see here. Who is Joe McCann? Ashley Janae's fiance under spotlight after U.S. influencer's death. She would never commit suicide. 31-year-old Miami-based lifestyle influencer found dead in Tanzania. Joe McCann claims she died by suicide. Many online have disputed the theory, according to Ball Alert. So she built a massive following and to celebrate. Authorities have not accused Joe of any wrongdoing as of now. I would be interested to see how that's even investigated in a foreign land like that. In them other countries, too. Let me tell y'all something about overseas. People starving over there. You can pay somebody off and get out of there. I'm gonna keep it funky. Joe ain't had to do nothing but pass out a bag to them investigators. And this is going to go unsolved. Joe could stand right out there in Tanzania and pull out bricks of cash to them detectives or whoever they got investigating this, and this will disappear. I promise you that shit. So Joe's bio on Asymmetric Financial Brief. Joe McCann is the founder, CEO, CIO, and solo managing GP of Asymmetric. Joe has over 25 years of experience working on Wall Street and in Silicon Valley. Previously, Joe was a senior director at Microsoft, head of quantitative trading at Passport, and the co-founder of CEO of NodeSource, a venture-backed open. Oh, Joe is super rich. So they were in Tanzania. Joe's super rich. Guess where Joe's not going? To jail. Okay, took this young lady's life, and nothing is going to happen. And I'm going to tell y'all something, ladies, quit selling your soul for the gold, man. You know what I'm saying? Materialism, and this should be a tale to other young ladies. Like it's crazy. Joe is probably some type of super rich psychopath. No different from that movie. What was that movie? That rich dude, and he was taking people out. It was an old 80s movie. But Joe is probably that guy. And unfortunately, this young lady had to see that. Joe's probably over there, got pissed off or something, choked out. And as she breathed her last breath, he probably looked and said, "Look what you made me do." Because he doesn't want to take any fault or any blame for that. And it's in Tanzania. And Joe sounds like he has a net worth north of a couple of $100 million. So people going to get paid. So he a venture-backed open source startup at X in 2019. Joe has been investing in Web3 startups and trading crypto since 2016. This guy is super, super. Yeah. He has chocolate woman. They went over there, and this is what happened. 31-year-old Miami-based lifestyle influencer. I'm sure if we look up Joe's net worth, it's probably insane. What's his net worth? Yeah. Okay, his worth is estimated to be $45 million. He manages a top performing fund. You see, this is a $60,000, $70,000 vacation they went on. You see, but y'all gotta understand, ladies. You know, just to sell you, like a lot of times it ain't even worth it, man. Find somebody that really love you for you, man. You know what I mean? Somebody you deal with. Yeah, death is currently surrounded by controversy, unclear circumstances, family and friends questioning suicide. Listen, and especially if done it here, they would have caught him. Okay, but since he did over there, you know what's gonna happen? Nothing. Joe paying people off. Or while Lisa said Joe probably with another girl before he left Tanzania. Shout out to Mara Young. I wish these young ladies understood the value of themselves and that they can't be bought. But hell, what am I talking about? We have young ladies going to Dubai to get number two on for a purse. And this is absolutely right. This is absolutely correct. If they are doing anything, they're selling their souls for the gold, baby. You know what I'm saying? And it's just not worth it in this case, because I promise you, ain't nothing happening to Joe. They not going to, even at that company, they going to, what happened? Give me some more here. Tanzania. Well, who are the detectives in Tanzania? I looked at her. Let's ask Gemini. How are homicides investigated in Tanzania? Okay. So homicide investigations are primarily the responsibility of the Tanzania police force, specifically the Criminal Investigation Department. The process is governed by the Criminal Procedure Act and follows a structured legal framework. Scene management, when a suspicious death, the first responder officer required to secure the area to prevent contamination of evidence. The area is restricted. Medical professors central to the Tanzanian investigative process. This is a critical Tanzanian medical legal. Okay, how much is Tanzania currency? The official currency is the Tanzanian shilling. Okay. So I'm going to take a look at this here. Okay. I'm going to show you why this is going to go unsolved. Can y'all see this? As of April 2026, now people they live off what's called a shilling, a Tanzanian shilling. Okay. $1, one equivalent to 2,600 Tanzanian shilling. Okay. We just said this guy was worth $45 million. Okay. That would make him 45 billion in Tanzania. And so let's see how Tanzanian police officer make. How much does a Tanzanian police officer make in shilling? Is that right? No. How much does a Tanzanian police officer make? Did I pronounce police officer make in shilling? Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so Tanzania typically earns 775,000 and 1.4 million shillings per month. What is this U.S.? I'm gonna show y'all why this is getting solved. Okay, all right, here we go. This is the salary, and so as we could see, I said here, and this is high earning senior cop makes 1.4 to 2 million shilling per month, which is going to break down to $543 to $755 a month. Okay? This is why this will go unsolved. This is why Joe is going to live his life unbothered here in the U.S. after taking this young lady out. Follow the money and the numbers. As I said, Joe is worth 45 million USD. Okay? As we can see, these people, the top level officer only makes $543 to $755 per month. Okay? Joe is in a position to pass out to these people like it is candy. That 10 grand will set up basically for life. So understand, ladies, when y'all go to these places and these exotic locations, you gotta be careful. Nothing will happen to Joe. Joe can afford to buy the whole police force, the detectives, and probably the president of Tanzania. So this will go unsolved. And people will holler, cry, complain, but it's just what it is, unfortunately. And this young lady did not deserve to lose her life. I'm going to be honest. Sick. These people are sick. Y'all got to be careful, man. Y'all have got to be careful out here, man. I'm looking. You could see right here, bro, like this beautiful girl. This is a girl. Look at it. Look at that. Front row seats to the game, you know. They with the lion. He a big, so I can imagine. Look at that hug. You see that? Damn, man. So sad. Just sad, man. I don't really know what to say. Like, why? I would really like, why, Joe? It's unreal. I mean, you look at these pictures. Look how it is, man. This was just beautiful. This was beautiful. He took her to sick. That's how sick this. That's a trained lion. Probably the most expensive part of this trip was probably the flight ticket. He's feeding the giraffe. It's unreal, man. It is unreal, bro. It's unreal. It's gonna be a dark documentary on this, but like I said, it probably won't because he won't get caught. He's not getting caught. Look at that. Mm, mm. You know, they was over there in Tanzania and arrested him. Did you say they arrested him? I don't believe. Let's see if he arrested. They over there in Africa. I think he paid them people off. They arrested him? Let me look that up. They arrested him. What's happening to Harvey Lee? Shout out to Harvey Lee. What you missed? Well, you know, you can rewind this because it's gonna go up on the, you know, once I'm done, it'll be allegedly she took herself out, found her when he got back to the room, but we know what it is. I'm gonna see if he's arrested. Somebody said he's arrested, so let me look that up. No, Joe McCann arrested in Tanzania. Let me see. I don't think he's arrested. I don't think that's true. Could you find that information? And I don't believe he's arrested. I doubt he's in jail. I doubt. Because over there, listen, man, they about that money. They about that money. He way out of this. This is what happens in them countries over there, bro. He can pay his way out of there. Easy. Because he could change their whole life and course of life with the money he has in American money. I don't believe this guy's in jail. Let's ask Gemini. Why am I even, let's see, was arrested in Tanzania. Yeah, he can pay them off. That's what I just broke it down like how they don't make no money. This is what we got. As of April 13th, there are conflicting reports regarding whether Joe McCann has been arrested or detained by Tanzania and Serbia. While he is at the center of a high-profile investigation following the death of his fiancée, no official charges have been filed. He's not in jail. He's not going to jail. McCann informed authorities that Janae died by suicide. Tanzania are currently treating death as a suspicious past and an active investigation is underway. He breaking bread, bro. He is paying them people off. Yeah, he has no arrest. Probably back in the, is he back in the, yeah, he good. He getting off, man. Yeah, absolutely unalived. We know this. We know this. Absolutely. Yes, he paid them people off. He back home. 9 times out of 10, he's back home. He's back home. And you know, I'm looking at, I see him TikTok videos. You know, you watch them, they doing TikTok videos. They're so lovey-dovey. Where should we get tacos? You see how this goes? These people that do these TikTok videos, and I always raise an eyebrow up to the TikTok couples. The TikTok couples, bro, it is some shit, and I can't put my finger on it. Because once you make your relationship like this kind of business, you know, it's something dark and sinister behind that, man. This is still rather unfortunate, but we did it. I don't question that for 1 second, guys. Very, very, very sad. But what else is going on in the world? Wait a minute. And it's unfortunate too, because now you got brothers coming out talking about how she would always shade black men. This black woman would always throw shade at black men about how they're not man enough, how they were not able to make women's lives easier, that she had to date white men who knew very well how to treat women, as she would call it, princess treatment in most of her Instagram captions. She would always include the words soft girl era. Well, now she's deceased. The reports say she committed suicide in Tanzania on vacation with a white man, but her family and friends are not buying it. They're suspecting foul play. And if we're being honest, the writing's on the wall. Let this be a lesson to all these young women who date men for lifestyles they can provide. You're literally putting your life on the line because the day it pops up to that man that you're zero interested in, but what he can provide, things will happen. Now she's just another statistic of how greed can mess you up. So the Red Pill brothers are just having a field day at this point, and it's rather unfortunate, man. Rather unfortunate. I guess she used to do a lot. He was never mad about an interracial relationship, but I just got my lashes refilled. She's a pretty, pretty girl, man. Very pretty girl. What a true tragedy. Such a sad, sad loss of life, you know? Very, very unfortunate. Her friends, they need answers. We need justice. I think that's Savannah Britt. But it's just not, it's not coming. There won't be any help. Gonna pay all them people off. The people gonna go about their day. This is how this is gonna happen. And it's very, very sad. Now I'm starting to see videos of a lot of people in these relationships where it's gone wrong in these types of relationships. But I'm not going to even get into that. I'm not do it. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going there. Today's rap is over with. I believe hip hop definitely done at this point. We haven't had a new hip hop superstar, probably Drake. You know, I mean, you can make the argument that is one of those he is, but even I mean, I don't know what year Kendrick came out. It's been a long, long time since we've had like a serious superstar, and I guess you could have to give that to NBA YoungBoy, but it's really rough, guys. That's popping up everywhere. Now it's viral with this young lady. Got a little something on TMZ in regards to it. Let's read this statement from the family. Here's a statement from her family. Ashley Robinson was on what should have been one of the happiest trips of her life, a birthday celebration in Zanzibar, Africa. Ashley's birthday was April 5th. She just turned 31, surrounded by beauty, love, and wildlife. She became engaged during a safari, an unforgettable moment that marked the start of a future she was so excited to build. She and her fiance, Joe McCann, were staying in a luxury villa at the Zuri, Zanzibar, continuing what we believe was her dream trip. But days later, that dream turned into our family's worst nightmare. Ashley was found unconscious in her villa and was rushed to a local hospital where her death was confirmed hours later. Nothing about this loss feels real. One moment she was celebrating love and life in truly Ashley fashion, and next she was gone. The suddenness, the unanswered questions, and the distance from home have made this tragedy even more overwhelming for our family. At this time, there's an active investigation into the circumstances around Ashley's suspicious passing. Although we have many questions, we are placing our trust in officials in Zanzibar and are working closely with them as we seek clarity and answers. Ashley was deeply loved. She was vibrant, full of life, and had so much ahead of her. Our family is completely devastated. We appreciate the prayers and compassion we have received as we navigate this unimaginable loss. We respectfully ask that any information that there be treated as unverified and not considered actual at this time. Unreal. Very, very sad, y'all. When I tell you this disappear. She got maybe 2 more weeks. I would love to see that Zanzibar hotel she was in. I want to see that villa. Zanzibar villa. Zuri. Let me see. Let's look up this villa. Oh, Zuri, Zanzibar. Lord have mercy. This was beautiful. Look at it. Look at that. Ooh, look at that. Thing go for about 600 a night, 632 a night. Get the big room for 800, taxes included, and the ocean front is 5,600 per night. Oh, look at that. Ooh, oh, that is beautiful. That's like the 5,600 per night room. Lord have mercy. Beautiful. So beautiful and so unfortunate, guys. What you say? Do you want to bet once her family get an independent autopsy done on her, Here in the States, she sustained different injuries consistent with the hanging. Yeah, yeah, it's unfortunate. And look, like, I know people are getting down on her because of her vitriol and disdain for black men. But could it be like maybe she liked some black dude and the dude didn't like her? It did just because of that one interaction of one black guy she like not liking her, she just turned cold against all black men. Because this generation, this younger generation, they tend to do that. No difference from black dudes that date a lot of white women. A lot of times they might get dissed or something by, a black woman, and then now it's just only women. So it could be that. But at the end of the day, she didn't deserve to be taken out, no matter what views or opinions were. She didn't deserve that. Didn't deserve it, guys. Let me see. Damn. Here we go. Here goes some more information.
So what
He's got to say.
why would she take her own life? She's a lifestyle influencer. She seems to be doing pretty well for herself. She just celebrated her 31st birthday, just got engaged to this man, John. So what was she dealing with? Could she have been? Possibly. Who knows? What we do know is that the family says that everything seems suspicious surrounding her death. Either way, she was found hanging in her hotel room, and John, who happens to be her fiance, says that she took her own life. Now, this is 31-year-old Ashley Robinson. She goes by Ashley Janae over on social media. And she posted April 5th, the last time that she posted on her social media page, chapter 31, and I'm exactly where I need to be. They say shortly after her birthday, celebrating it, she was found hung in this hotel that you see where she is right now in this picture. No, I'm sorry, I said John earlier, but his name is Joe McCann. And he is a CEO and founder of Asymmetric Finance. Now, she just had got engaged to him, and it's also being alleged that he just got divorced to somebody in 2024. That's all alleged. Now, Joe McCann, I said John earlier, I apologize about that. Now, Joe is the founder, CEO, CIO, and solo managing GP of Asymmetric. Joe has over 25 years of experience working on Wall Street and Silicon Valley. Previously, Joe was a senior director at Microsoft, head of quantitative trading at Passport Capital, and the co-founder CEO of NodeSource, a venture-backed open source startup that exited in 2019. Now, this is who she was with on vacation. Now, a lot of people believe that there's some foul play involved, that he possibly could have done something to this beautiful young lady, because her family says that she was so happy and she was so excited for what was to come in her life and everything that she had accomplished that she would never commit a suicide. Now, as of yet, Joe has not been arrested, and there hasn't been anything from authorities to say that there's any foul play involved. They are investigating it. The family says that they believe that it is suspicious. But what I will say is, it could go both. We do have to follow this. Sometimes we've seen where families do not want to believe that their loved one would commit, suicide, because they really don't know what their loved ones are maternally. And so for them, they can't even fathom it or process that, right? Either way, I send my condolences to the family, and I will keep you updated if we hear anything about an arrest being made or any updates in the case.
Y'all can't trust them bald-headed white boy. It's so sad. So sad.